Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here. Today, I am giving you a video that is kind of long overdue, so to say. But nonetheless, it's still coming, and well, I mean, you're already watching it, so might as well get into it. So I figured, since I've already done my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2019, I just remembered, why didn't I do my top 10 best movies of 2018, or at least best to worst movies of 2018? So I've gathered the movies that I've watched and seen other people review, and I'm gonna try and rank them. Now, obviously, not all of you are gonna agree with my list. Some of these movies I probably haven't seen them, so I will probably skip over them quick. I think when I reach around number 7 or 6 is when I've watched them, and you'll see me go into more depth with them. So, nonetheless, let's get on with the video for 2018's animated movies, worst to best. And coming in at number 10, we have Sherlock Gnomes. A lot of people may agree with me here. Some of you may not, but yeah, I don't like Sherlock Gnomes. I watched the original Romeo and Juliet, and yeah, no, this one didn't do it for me. The animation is bad, the characters are just as annoying, and it seems like there's no motivation behind here. Honestly, I thought they would kind of make a sequel that at least tried, but no, it just seemed like there was no motivation at all. I'm sorry, this movie was just boring, and you know I hate boredom. Now, Sergeant Stubby. I honestly have never watched this film. From what I've seen from the reviews and such, this is supposed to be like an educational film for second graders. On the other hand, I've never even heard of it. It never even showed up in cinemas in my country. That's how small this movie was. So obviously I can't say anything about Sergeant Stubby, but if anything, it is better than Sherlock Gnomes. So that's why I'm putting it above it. I'm putting this movie above that. The Grinch is another movie I've never gotten to see. That's why these numbers are, not like piling up as well. The reason I didn't see this movie was because, I just didn't make it on time. But, I have high hopes for this movie. It looks good, nicely animated, and, well, from what people have said, it is a good Dr. Seuss movie, but, yeah, it's best if we just stick to the books and not make movies about them. Coming in at number 7, we have Isle of Dogs. Now, I know a lot of you are gonna hate me for this one, but I also haven't seen Isle of Dogs. That's right, 3 movies on my top 10 list, I haven't seen them. And Isle of Dogs is just like it looks pretty good, I'll give it that. It looks like it has some good animation. But again, I have put it on number 7 on my list because I haven't watched it, so I like really can't rank it. I mean, the reason it's number 7 is because it's better than Sherlock Gnomes, and I have heard good things about it, but once again, I can't judge a book by its cover. So, as nicely animated as this is, I'll have to wait and see it later on. It's on my to-do list, just so you know. Okay, who's ready for some spooky? Coming in at number 6, we have Hotel Transylvania. Now, from here on out, I have watched every movie on this list, so you guys don't have to worry about anything. Hotel Transylvania 3. Did I like this movie? Well, let me just say this for sure. It was definitely better than the second movie. I really hated Hotel Transylvania 2. In fact, it was actually in anticipation for Hotel Transylvania 3 so that it could rectify any mistakes made by Hotel Transylvania 2. However, this movie just seemed to ignore that Hotel Transylvania 2 was a thing, so hey, at least I'll give it that. Maybe it's not part of canon anymore. I also did not bother to watch the animated series, but hey, we're talking about the movie. So, did I like the movie? Well, let's see. The animation was really good. I like how smooth everything is. It is an improvement over the first one. However, I wouldn't say the rest about the stories, characters, and the environment overall. Like, the first one did have at least a story. Here, there's not really a story. It just felt like it needed to be a cartoon for the sake of a cartoon. If anything, it was just the first movie done again, except on a cruise, and instead of the love interests being Mavis and Johnny, it's now Drac and the captain lady. I'm forgetting what her name is, but, yeah, this movie didn't do it for me. It just felt like a retrend of the first one, and instead of being its own final thing, the final chapter of the Hotel Transylvania series, it just felt like another Hotel Transylvania movie. I hope they don't make any more of these. But I will say that it did try. For what it did, as much as it tried to copy the original, it at least tried something else. So I'll give it that. Coming in halfway through our list, we have Smallfoot at number 5. Now, this is where stuff gets good. I liked Smallfoot. And I don't just mean like, oh, it was an okay movie. No, I actually liked it. The animation is swift and moving. It actually makes you feel like you're watching Looney Tunes, especially the parts where Migo goes down the mountain. That was pretty funny. Yeah, people love the swift animation, and this is a movie that has a really good message. I really did like that this movie decided to tackle a message that not other movies really tackle, and that's to ask questions, to go out there and find things for yourself. Obviously, I wouldn't spoil the movie because that's up to you to decide. But in all words, I really did like this movie, and I hope Warner Brothers could provide more movies that have different messages, but they improved the same environment. As said, this really isn't Warner Brothers' best movie. If anything, I would rank it at the if like I were to rank the Warner Brothers movies, this would actually be at the bottom of the list. That's because they produced so many good movies. It just this one was the weak link in all of it. Now, to Smallfoot's credit, again, maybe people just didn't see it as a big thing, but I really did like Smallfoot. I really found it had good animation, some good characters, albeit some forgettable ones, but it had a really good message in the story. It stuck with that all the way through. So for that, Smallfoot deserves to be at number 5. Who would have thought that Teen Titans Go to the Movies, another Warner Brothers film, would make it to number 4 on this list? Yes, it's technically adapted from a kids show, but my gosh, is this movie funny. I laughed throughout this movie. Teen Titans Go to the Movies may have, similar animation to that of the TV series, but I will give it the fact that it at least had a slightly higher budget. The colors are more yelling, they're more pronounced, and the animation and backgrounds aren't too bad. You could tell some effort was really put in here and that people really did try. And all the jokes about DC and everything they had, man, it was funny. I really did like this. This was a really good movie, and I don't think anybody expected this to be as funny or as good as it was. And for all reasons, Teen Titans Go to the Movies deserves to be on its number 4 spot. So from number 3 onward, you guys are gonna predict this. It's gonna be pretty predictable, and you might think of me as a cliche guy, but hey, I like what I like. And kicking off number 3, we have Wreck-It Ralph 2. This movie, now, what do I say about this movie? I really expected too much from this. I really wanted this one to be better than the original. I wanted it to be an amazing successor. Don't get me wrong, I liked this movie. As I said, I just wanted it to be better than Wreck-It Ralph 1, but sadly to no avail. This movie definitely has the better animation, but that's to be expected. But it also has a compelling story about how poisonous friendships can be. I am so glad they did not have like a love story between Vanellope and Ralph, but I think that was kind of obvious from the start. So once again, they did deal with how a poisonous friendship could be, and they really tackled that subject well. What I liked most is that when they went to the internet, they didn't use dated things. True, there may have been a few things that were dated, such as flossing or whatever, but they really did utilize the internet properly, unlike the Emoji Movie. Everything about this movie was great, and honestly, you could not expect more from Disney. Sadly, it wasn't able to succeed the original, but it was able to be a worthy sequel, and I would watch this anytime. This movie is so heartfelt, so well done, and so beautifully animated. I cannot help but just love it. And the Oh My Disneyland, man, there were so many Easter eggs I had to crack, but my goodness, am I glad I saw this movie. Coming in at number 2, we have The Incredibles 2. None of you expected this from me. If you've been following my channel, you know this has been my most anticipated movie of the year. And even after I watched it, I thought it was going to be sure the winner on my list. But alas, to no avail. The Incredibles 2, as good as it was, did not beat my list. And my goodness, this movie was great. It did not succeed the original, but even if this was a very, very close second to it, I would say it was off by a slight margin. Obviously, there were some things that needed to be improved, such as the villain, but oh my goodness, I cannot express how much I love this movie. This movie is just amazing. We have supers versus supers, we have the return of everything, the cast is great again. I mean, Incredibles 2, my gosh, is a great movie. It's so amazing, so fluid, and honestly, you could tell Pixar had given it their all here. As we know, Pixar aren't great with sequels, but here, it was very close to the original. Incredibles 2 may just be a perfect sequel in Pixar's eyes. Honestly, it is the best non-Toy Story sequel that Pixar has ever made, and I do not regret that. Even though I wanted this movie to be my favorite, this movie preceded all my expectations. I had high hopes for it, and it broke those hopes. It just went soaring. Incredibles 2 was more than enough of what I could ask for. Now we just have to wait another 13 years for Incredibles 3, don't we? Well, I think this may be the first and only time in my life, I may say, that Sony has produced an amazing movie. Honestly, I cannot express how much love I have for this movie. And how is it that Sony is the guys who came up with this? Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is not just the best movie of 2018, it is the best movie. It is the best Spider-Man movie, period. Honestly, this movie is so beautifully animated. The frame rates, the way they try and make it look like a comic book at the same time 2D, at the same time 3D. This is the new animation of our time. Into the Spider-Verse, I can't even put it into words. It's so beautiful and amazing. Go watch my review, honestly. Into the Spider-Verse has some great villains, some great characters, beautiful chemistry. Everyone actually speaks like a human being. And Miles Morales, even though the last 5 minutes with him were kind of rushed, you could go through this journey with him, and it was amazing. Honestly, I could almost say nothing wrong about this movie. And in all honesty, I really wanted Incredibles 2 to be better than this, but I just couldn't help it. Into the Spider-Verse was that good. And if it doesn't win the Oscar, I'm gonna go kill them. Honestly, Into the Spider-Verse was an amazing Spider-Man movie, and I really want more like this. Whichever direction you take it in, it better be better than this. Into the Spider-Verse, as amazing as it is a really good movie. It introduces the characters of Spider-Man in a new and modern way that people can enjoy. Everyone can get introduced into Spider-Man, and they don't have to watch the former Spider-Man movies. And even those people who watch the former Spider-Man movies get their fan service. It's all just beautiful. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe how Into the Spider-Verse just works so well. And for all those reasons above, it deserves to be number one on this list. Not just as the best Spider-Man movie, but as the best movie of 2018. Now that 2018 is over with, let's see what movies we have for 2019 and what we can be excited about. A sequel I am hyped about. A sequel I'm also hyped about. I'm not so excited. Oh yes, I want to watch that one. If. Nah, not really. Yeah, nah, that would make me bored. Yes, I want to see it. Okay, I guess. Nope, Lego Movie ripoff. Yes, I want to see that one, looks funny. Yeah, I guess I could see Abominable, it sounds interesting. Yes, I want to see that. Frozen 2, let's see what you got for us. With all that said and done, guys, 2019 looks to be a good year. And not just a good year, but an excellent year. Like the clash of the movies. Every studio is gonna come and compete. And it's every movie that everybody could be looking forward to in one way or another. 2018 has been a good movie, but 2019 sounds even better. And I can't wait for it to happen when we get to see what new surprises they have for us. I have been Captain Phoenix, and I hope to see you in another universe.